Dating in Estonia could be termed to be something difficult. Over the next couple of weeks, I will be having a conversation with a couple of people as they share their perspective as to what they think about dating in Estonia.
Hello.
Alpha. I am Charles Maduabuchi, and I make videos about travels, lifestyle, blog, and I also make videos where I feature people who are willing to share their stories on some of the ways they have been able to stay afloat in an environment just like Estonia. This is Dating in Estonia. What's up, guys? It's Charles Maduabuchi here again, and in this episode, we are going to be talking about dating in Estonia. So today, I'm having two beautiful guests, and I guess you might have known them or you might have seen them around here in Estonia. So I'm having Mr. Victor. He's here today. Will you say hi?
Hi everyone.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, I'm fine.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Good. And also, we're having the Globalman himself, who is also a YouTuber, and please subscribe to his channel. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you also.
Good. So, without further ado, let's go into today's discussion. Dating in Estonia. A huge topic, right?
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
So, what is dating to you?
Dating is like, we all know, like when male and female, come together and say, we want to know each other, So for me, it's getting to know the other partner, getting to know more of them, what they like to do, their interests, so things like that. So that is my own idea about dating, being together, your interests, what you like to do, your hobbies and all that. Try to be in somebody's life and get the perspective of how they see things. So that is the way I can say it for now.
Mr. Victor?
Alright, thank you very much. My idea of dating is that bonding time between both parties. It might not be just for the guy or the girl. It depends on the kind of relationship that is going on. You might have, apart from the heterosexual relationships, there are other forms. I feel those are some things we could look into also. So it's more or less like a bonding time for them to get to know each other, understand themselves, and to be able to correct some loopholes, or to be able to fill in each other's loopholes before they proceed into marriage. That's if they want to take it to the next level. But also, so basically dating is that time where you get to know your partner way more intimately than you would as a friend.
Oh, that's nice. So what is the difference between dating and being in a relationship?
If I were to take that, from my point of view, I feel being in a relationship encompasses so many things about one person and how they relate with another person. Take for example myself, I may have a particular kind of relationship with someone that I'm not really dating. It might be a mutual understanding that we don't want to take it to the next level. We just want to keep it on the particular level of relationship. We just want to relate at a particular level, but we don't want to take it further than that. We just want to keep it on the low.
No commitment.
No, not as much commitment as such, but we just want to be together, but not so much commitment, and just see where it leads.
Be together.
Yeah.
So when you say be together, which means there is a form of agreement there that this thing, certain things could be done. When you say being together,
Of course.
there's an agreement. Like, okay, maybe let's say take for example the sexual attachment?
Yeah, that's very funny now that you brought that in. I feel that when it's a relationship, it's two people
Mhm.
agreeing at a particular level that this is what we want to do. Alright?
That's when you bring in the boyfriend and commitment.
Not really commitments as such, just you are a friend or boy. She is a lady, a girl, right? They both have an understanding that they want to have a particular kind of relationship. Alright? And as such, want to leave it at that level. They don't want to take it further. They both understand that. They're not ready to take it further. But when you want to take it further, you begin to make conscious efforts towards working on each other and making sure that the other person's interest is more paramount to you than just having that person around.
Oh, okay.
So that's when dating becomes dating. But when it's just a relationship, we just have this thing, quote and unquote, this thing. So that's when it's a relationship. So that's just the way I say it. I may be wrong.
So what do you have to say concerning this?
Well, that's a very good point. But from my own point of view, like you asked, dating, you can go for dates on multiple times. You understand? It depends on what you're looking for and what the next person is looking for. But when it comes to relationship, now you find the person you want after much dating. You know, going to restaurant, hanging out, you know, discussions and all that, you know. Then in a relationship now, you guys are together now. But in a relationship, for me, it starts with the communication. For me, when I'm in a relationship, or if I want to go into a relationship, I try to dialogue, you know, what do you really want? We can say it, you understand? So we now know, are we going to the next level, or where are we going to find ourselves? Is this just be together and all that? You know, we need to find out what we really want in this thing we are doing. So at that point, you now know what you're doing. Maybe if it's not what you want, you understand, you call the whole thing off, or you can proceed to any limit or you set for yourself in the relationship.
Sorry, so if I had to come into this, from your own perspective,
Yeah.
it has to be dating first before relationship.
Yeah, I have to take you out, you understand, or for me, I have to take you out, chill, you know, talk, or
Get
hang
to
out,
know each
or
other,
like
you know?
maybe like adventure, or go to cinema, or whatever, you understand. While we're doing that, we're dropping some kind of comments and questions. What do you like? What kind of food do you like? Where have you visited? You know, what kind of things do you like? Horse riding, you know, all those kind of things. You now know, okay, this person has similar interests with me. So maybe at the end of the day, if you give a call back, oh, I just want to know how you're doing, it means that you have interest, you want to take it to the next level. But if I don't give you a call back or text you, bro, I have cut that thing off. You know?
Okay. So there's no relationship there.
It's not going anywhere. Yeah.
So for the way I am perceiving it, right?
Yeah.
Dating for me seems more serious than the relationship is.
Okay.
Because for a relationship, you might have as much relationships with so many people. Friendship is a form of relationship, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Acquaintance is a form of relationship. Okay, the way you relate to people basically is what relationship connotes, right? So, but then dating is a different kind of relationship where interest alignment becomes paramount.
Of course.
Compared to, oh yes, I am relating with this person or that person because of this is how I want to be with that person. Alright? So for me, dating is where it becomes more serious. However, for people that go on dating spree, it might be different. Alright? But for someone like me that knows that okay, dating is as important as my future with my wife, alright? So that dating period is when I need to become more serious.
So this now brings me to a question now. Mr. Charles, you would have helped us by defining, in an English dictionary way, like this is dating and this is relationship. You understand?
Yeah,
so let's
let's
not intertwine the wordings. You understand?
Yeah.
So
for me, from my own perspective, I think dating is when you talk about dating, it's something that has nothing to do with any form of emotional attachment. Don't put your emotions there, but for a relationship, when you talk about a relationship, there is this form of agreement between both parties. You talk about agreements, so you have to agree on something. Are you ready for this? Yes, I am. Do you understand? As a guy, you have to ask, okay, this is what I want from you. Then if she says yes, then you guys come to a conclusion, okay, we are into this. So you have to show commitment. So these are the two differences between dating from our own perspective and a relationship. The dating, no commitment. The relationship, you have to be committed.
So now, dating, no commitment, is it a one-time thing? Or
it could be a one-time thing, as you said.
Yeah.
So dating, for me, I could see it as, okay, dating, I can take you out on a date. We go see movies or horse riding, as you also said. Then if I see something I don't like about you, maybe your attitude, this egoistic attitude, then I cut it off.
That's true.
Then it's not going to proceed. I'm not going to give you a call back.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just it.
I feel from my own perspective, I feel like it's a general worldview where we are looking at the concepts of dating and relationship. If we look at the both concepts and we want to understand the difference, the basic difference, I feel I am being more conservative in my own explanation of the concept. And being liberal and conservative may not really have the same viewpoint. But in my own understanding, I feel like if I want to explain it right from the word itself, relationship is relating with someone, all right? It depends on how you relate to that person, right? But dating is when both parties understand that something needs to be met here. There is a condition needs to, like, okay, I feel maybe if I want to understand, I feel that the disparity here would be confusing or more or less putting courtship and dating in the same pool of definition. I am putting the dating and courtship in the same pool. Because if that is the idea, then dating and courtship would be under the same umbrella. But if that is not the case, maybe you should.
That is your own perspective.
Okay.
But for me, as a person, as Charles, I'm putting courtship and relationship together. Because during the process of courtship, we are getting to know each other as well. We've come to this agreement that, okay, we want to do this together. We want to keep going out. We just want to see more than once. Dating, you could just decide that, okay, after this should be a one-time thing. Then it could not progress from there. But when it comes to the relationship, you could also, for me, I could also put it as courtship. We exchange calls, we call each other every day, get to know how we are doing. That is your relationship.
Blame me, I'm an African man.
So, how easy is it to start up a conversation in Estonia?
Are we talking amongst our community?
In general.
In general.
Be it our community, the African community, and maybe when you meet up with other people.
If I would answer that question, from our community,
mind you, when it comes to dating, how is it for you to start up a conversation?
Okay, so my experience in that area is not so broad, because I have been it's here. So my wife is very much here, So dating, for a lot of those I have had an open-ended discussions with, is one that has not been easy at all.
Mm-hmm.
From their own personal experiences, it's not been something as sweet as everyone would think it is, because to a large extent it is more about moving from one ship of a culture to another culture.
Okay.
Especially for our own people that are here for like are only experiencing the Western world for the first time. Alright? They are experiencing the Western world for the very first time, and they do not know how to comport themselves around Westerners or maybe Estonians or Europeans as such. And it's kind of hard for them. So the first thing they do is they go on Tinder or they go on so many dating sites and they find people. But sometimes that person that they find, there is a good and a bad side to it, because they might find the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
that has not been that is not usually the best idea. For me, I actually wanted to connect with people when I just got here. I wanted to connect with people that, not because of dating per se, but because I felt they would have values that we could share. I was still job hunting. I was still trying to build myself. But I had a very funny experience with this lady.
Do you mind sharing?
Oh my god. Initially, it started like, yeah, let me do this one. People are hearing this one for the first time. So I actually I met this lady online. We started out on Facebook, like, talking to each other, not Tinder, so to say. Now, it started out normal casual talks. Hey, how you doing? And it moved on to the level where I found out, she has a child for one black person.
Interesting.
Right? Or like, you've dated one of us, so you have an idea of how black people are. So I was interested in this lady, like, oh wow, that's nice. So it's good to know that one Estonian person has had a relationship with a black person, and let's get to know how it was the experience. We started talking on that level. But then all of a sudden, it just moved on to be my husband. I'm like, whoa, back up. How did we get here now? Like, how did that happen? So, some way, somehow, it depends. You might find someone very interesting that fits into you, but you might not be so lucky. So, it's a 50-50 thing. You need to weigh both chances.
Start with Globalman.
So, my take on that question was, how
easy is it for you to start up on a conversation when it comes to dating in Estonia?
Well, for me, it's very easy, but it depends on how my mood is, or I perceive the countenance of the
other person.
The person I want to make a conversation with. But for me, generally, it's always easy to hit up a conversation with anybody. It depends on how I feel or how I read your body language and all that. So, but in Estonia, as you all know, like, Estonians are very close people.
Yeah,
they are introverts, you understand. We don't know whether it's about the weather that is cold, that face to be really strong, rigid and all that. But when you get to know them, you understand they are very free. You understand, especially when you drink, and
yeah, the booze.
So if you are in that lane, then you have a lot of friends. You understand, you meet this one will take you to another place. Like that. You hang out with a lot of them. So for me, basically, to open up a conversation in Estonia is I can put it on a scale of 1 to 10 for 9 for me. Mm-hmm. So it's easy for me to open up a conversation, so long as I see that the body language, countenance, and how I feel is acceptable, then I move immediately.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But don't you think, sorry to bring this up, don't you think that your personnel and your height, right? If we measure the two of us now, I know where I belong beside you. No, but a lot of these ladies kind of like tall, dark,
yeah. So that brings me to a story now. Estonians don't compliment, they don't talk, they mind their own business. So one time I was, me and my friend were going to club one night in Old Town. So I had this dreadlocks, you understand? So one beautiful lady was like, "Oh wow, handsome, I like your hair." I said, "Thank you very much." Then I now asked her, "Where are you from?" She said, "I'm from the UK." I said, "That's
Nice.
it. You're not, Estonians cannot do that." He said, "Wow, really?" I said, "Yes, because Estonians cannot do that. They might see it, appreciate it, but they don't have the, it's just
They don't.
very
Courage,
difficult,
you know, to come walk up to you.
walk up to you and tell you that they like it, you understand? Unless when you get to talk to the person, they will now tell you, "Oh good, this is how I felt when I saw you for the first time. You're handsome, you're tall, I like the hair, blah blah, the physique and all that." But they cannot walk up to you and tell you. So this is why the UK, the US are always different from the Nordic and the Baltic region.
Yeah.
So that is
Maybe someone like me needs to add 2 cement blocks to my hand.
But you're taking already.
Well, she will not complain.
I'm going to tell her. So this takes us to the next question. So in your own opinion, what is your preferred dating application?
Dating preferred? Asking me that question is like putting me inside.
Putting you on the spot, right?
On the spot. She must not hear this one. Don't watch this. Boo boo. I'm not watching this. Okay, so for a lot of my friends that were in the dating pool at the time, a lot of them kind of preferred Tinder.
Tinder. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they kind of prefer Tinder, using Tinder a lot of times to meet kind of fun people. I think it was on Tinder that my friend met this Estonian lady and introduced us at the very first time that I went clubbing in Tallinn there. The very first time. And this lady, till date, she's still one of the most awesome people that I know. Like, she is hands down one of the best people I've met.
Is there anyone
in
like
Tallinn.
the bestest?
No, like she's still till date, she's still very, very good. We are still very good friends. I remember when I fell sick, and it's very hard for students to come through for you sometimes. Very, very hard. But this lady actually drove in the middle of the night to come pick me up where I was living and take me to the hospital. In the middle of the night. She was the first person that came to mind. And when I called her, she was like, "No worries, I'm coming." She drove from her house, came to my house, picked me up, and took me to the hospital. That singular action of hers made me like respect her a lot.
Do you want to give her a shout out?
Like, yeah, Christine. Thank you very much. She knows herself now.
Bossman.
Yeah. I keep forgetting the question because my friend here have a lot of stories.
Yeah. So I asked them, what's your preferred dating application in Estonia?
Ah, okay.
We have so many of them. For me, I prefer Tinder. Tinder gives you this opportunity to see beautiful women, Estonians, and also non-Estonians. You know, so it helps you meet up with people and so on. So I don't know, what's your preferred dating application?
Well, I can. Before, I don't know about Tinder anyway. I use Badu.
Okay.
Or Badu. I don't know how they call it.
Whichever way.
Till I got to know Tinder, but they're basically the same. You know, people there post their pictures. You know, but the features, you know, like Badu also gives you not only the people in where you're located, same thing as Tinder also. So I think basically two of them is what I use, but Badu is what I got to know first before Tinder. So that is what I used before, because I don't have any of these apps on my phone anymore. So
okay. So I have this question for you. Do you agree that dating in Estonia is difficult?
Dating in Estonia.
Do you agree it's so difficult? What can you say about it?
I can say you know, from my own perspective, you understand?
Yeah.
Because Estonians are still conservative, you know, they are still more of introvert. They are shy of, you know, dating a black man, you know, or Africans, if I can put it that way. So it's just the ones that have courage, who don't care about what people think, you know. they are the ones that are open to anybody to date them. So but on a lighter note, I think it's difficult to date.
So you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now,
yeah.
let us take it to a broader aspect.
Okay.
Now, also to the African community, do you think it's also difficult to date in that aspect as well?
Yes, I can think for me it's difficult to date because there's this ideology our people come with, you understand? The same that you need to take care of them, forgetting that we all came here to hustle also, you understand? I take you out, I do everything, I pay
your bills.
I pay your bills, you know, and all that. So when it's not that we don't want to do it, but when you realize that you have your own bills, you know, to take care of and other problems, everybody has problems, you know, from Nigeria or your school fees to pay, your rent, you understand? Even dating is expensive.
Yeah. Amen to that.
Dating is expensive.
Amen.
So we are trying to minimize, you understand, our cost, you know, but still get a good quality.
Preach, preacher.
Still get a good quality, maybe like hanging out, buying good stuff,
buying drinks, buying food stuff,
food, you know. So going to our African community, so I can say from my observation that you don't see most of our African guys having, you know, the
having anything to do with the African ladies.
Yes. Because if you get to the side of the Westerners, you understand, the Estonians or wherever, maybe Sweden, Finnish, they are always open, you know, free and all that. Everybody takes care of their thing. So I think that is what makes our guys, you know, tilt to that side, you know.
I would add, sorry to quote you.
Yeah.
I would add another concept or an idea that I heard from one of the guys around here about the reason why they would prefer dating an Estonian or Finnish or probably a white lady, Swedish living here in Thailand. Because from one of my friends that if you are watching this, you know yourself, that he mentioned that the advantage he had from dating an Estonian was when he had issues with his landlord. And this lady stepped into the situation, right? She fought for him and told the landlord, I live there also, right? I live in that same apartment. You can't just shoot my boyfriend's trash. You can't do anything that is against the law. If you try, I know where to go to. So there are some times when our people get some knowledge about the law, norms and values here, or some statutes that we do not know about, that we never even knew, that it is from the relationship we have with these people that helps us to know that